How's she going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's workshop. Got ourselves another beauty of a day here today. Nothing but sun, blue sky, cold wind, and snow. But hey, that's what happens, when it gets to be wintertime. You know what? Today's kind of a special day here at Grampie's workshop. I'm going to do something today that I rarely ever do. And I want you to be here to watch it and to witness it, and just for proof that sometimes I actually do this. But what I'm going to do today is, it's hard even for me to say it, but I'm going to burn scrap wood. Oh, never thought I'd ever see the day, but you know, I was in the shop there the other day trying to clean up all the scrap wood that I have and get the shop kind of organized, and there's just so much of it in there that I can't do anything in the shop because I have so much wood. So I got mad yesterday and said I'm going to burn it. So what we're going to do here today is I'm going to dig out this fire pit here a little bit. Well, not dig it out because there's, you know, there's brush and whatnot in there. Gonna push the snow back a little. Gonna start a fire there, and I'm gonna start burning some scrap wood. So yeah, hard to believe. I never thought I'd ever see the day, but I'm gonna burn scrap wood. So enough talking, let's get at her. So just to show you what I'm talking about, it's about the scrap wood, eh? Like, this is all scrap wood here, piled in the saw. This is all scrap wood here. I've got, it's hard to see it here because the light's so bad, but under the saw I've got a box there that's probably 2 feet deep and 1.5 feet wide and 2.5 feet long, and it's just filled with scraps of wood. I've got piles of here, scrap wood. I've got a bunch of sheet wood here, sheet pieces, and some of it I'm going to save, but a lot of it is not worth saving, it's scrap. I also, apologize for the light here too, but I also have a bunch of wood now piled up again on my new bench under the window that I said I was not going to do, but I've got wood piled on there. And what else do I have? I've got some more wood piled in back in there. I got some wood here on the floor, which I don't know that I'll burn, but you know, it's hanging around, it's in the way. Plus out in the lumber shed that I have, I've got a bunch of ends out there piled up too, you know, so I just have way too much scrap wood. So we're going to burn it. Yeah. I think I'm going to feel better after I burn it, but it's going to be hard to burn it. It's going to be hard. It's like getting rid of a pet. But anyway, we're going to try it. And I'm going to start my fire outside. So I just want to show you what I do to prepare to start an outside fire. So come on over here till I show you this little trick. I've probably shown you this before because I've started fires before on YouTube, but what I have is, this is just a flap off a cardboard box. So what I like to do is make a little starter box, start my fires. And I make a lot of starter boxes. In fact, I've got a bunch of them over there on the shelf. Here, look. There's what a made up one looks like. So like, I could just use this box, but I'm going to make one just to show you today. So what I've done quite a while ago, I made this fire starter box gauge. So this is just a piece of wood. It's about six inches maybe square, and then I measured in a couple of inches from all the sides, and I put some screws in there so the screws stick through the back of the box, right? So what I do then is I take this piece of, it's corrugated cardboard, just like you get in cardboard boxes, and just so happens that this flap is 6 inches wide. So I put my piece on there, push down on it, and while it's there, I'll cut this off. Okay, so now there's enough left, just so happens there's enough left in this one. I can make 2 boxes today. So I push that down again. The idea of pushing that down is I get these little marks here, eh? So now, if you notice in the box, the way the corrugations go, these corrugations are going vertical and not horizontal, eh? They're going vertical. So what I want to do is, I want to crease, I want to cut here, 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 and here, but I want to crease the other sides so that I can form a box. So what I'll do is, I'll, just with my knife, I go from one of those cuts in the corner and cut the cardboard. So I'm going in the same direction as the corrugations, but then what I do after I cut the 4 edges, I'll turn my knife over and just use the blunt end of it, and then I'll just draw a line there, just creasing the plywood, or the cardboard I mean. And then I'll do the same thing at right angles to it. So I end up with a pattern like that, if you can follow that. I'm just going to cut this edge off here, because we don't need that on there. If I can cut it off. My knife is rather dull. Okay, so now that I have that with these edges cut, then I can form a box. See how where I made those creases in the box? It gives it a nice folding edge. So I fold those up, so turn those tabs on the inside, turn the box up like that, and then I take a piece of masking tape, form the box with the edges, and just put a piece of tape on it, and then the same thing here. So when I'm finished, I end up with a box that's about, I don't know, 3 inches square, 1.5 inch sides on it, eh? So then what do you do with that box? I usually, when I use these blue shop towels, you know, you only use them once and they're not much good for anything. Some of them I throw out, but like these ones I saved. So I just stick that in there, pop it down like that. These ones I was using for painting, so there's a little bit of paint on them and whatnot, but you can use new ones if you want, but I'm cheap, so I use old ones. So I set that down in there. So now what I have is this cardboard box with some paper towel in it, and I'm going to go use waste oil from when I do oil changes. I just pour, I don't know, a couple, 3 ounces of waste oil in the bottom of this. Now what that waste oil does is it soaks into the shop towels. It also soaks into the cardboard. Then I'll get some small splits and just set them in there, just little pieces, you know, not much bigger than a popsicle stick. Stick them in there, and then I'll light that with my torch. Well, I'll show you that when I go to the fire pit. I light it with my torch. When you get the oil hot enough, it ignites, but it doesn't burst into flame, right? It burns slowly, and that's what you want. You want it to burn slow so that it'll get the wood on fire, and then because the shop rags are filled with oil and the cardboard box then gets saturated with oil, the whole thing turns into a nice slow burning fire starter. And then as that starts to burn, put a little bit more splits on it, a little bit bigger splits, and then you can start putting some wood on it. So I'm going to go out, shovel off that snow off the top of the fire pit right now. I'm going to put a little oil in this and take my torch, and we'll light a fire. Come on out and I'll show you how we do that. Hey, it's sticker time again at Grampie's workshop. Holy crow, I can't remember the last time I ever had a sticker time. So I couldn't get at my sticker wall here to post new stickers, but I sure do appreciate all these great channels I have here on my sticker wall. There's some really fantastic channels, some great people. But don't forget, if you're a viewer or a subscriber of Grampie's Workshop, thank you very much for that, by the way, but just because your sticker's not here on the wall doesn't mean you're not a great channel or that I don't appreciate you. But if you do have a sticker and you'd like to exchange one with me, just check my About page and my email address is there, and you can send me your address and I'll send you a sticker. You know, because of our recent postal strike here in Canada, stickers were slow trickling in. But I got some stickers here from Brian and Holly and Penny from codraven. Now codraven, I only started watching codraven maybe 9 months ago, we'll say, 6 months, 9 months ago. And they do a lot of different things. They recently they spent the summer sailing around Newfoundland in their boat Frill, and they did a really nice tour around Newfoundland, going to some really interesting outports in derelict towns and villages that are no longer inhabited, and he takes on a little tour of them, and that was very interesting. I enjoyed that. And now they're both busy in Newfoundland. They're living in Newfoundland. They have a homestead there, and they're rebuilding an old house and cabin. So that's an interesting thing too. And I'd suggest if you get a chance, go check out codraven. Tell them Grampie sent you, and have a look for yourself and just see what you think. But anyway, Brian and Holly and Penny, their dog, sent me some stickers. So there's this one. I like that one, codraven. And then there's this one, codraven for the frill of it. This is the one that I think he had while he was sailing his boat, but he recently got rid of his boat, so he doesn't have frill anymore. Too bad. I bet you that was a heartbreaker getting rid of that, eh, Brian? But anyways, that's what happens. So I'm going to post these stickers. I think I'm going to put one of them, codraven for the frill of it. I'm going to put them right here next to Tucker and I, another good Newfoundland channel. If you get a chance, check out Gary at Tucker and I. He's a lot of outdoor adventures too. So, codraven for the frill of it, right there next to Tucker and I. And then his other one, I think I'll put him on the wall too. And I'll put him over here next to Gold Wing Moments. Larry from Gold Wing Moments. Larry just spent the summer touring Newfoundland with his buddy on his Gold Wing motorcycle. He got some nice photos there, nice footage of a beautiful countryside. Newfoundland is a pretty spot. So codraven, good channel. Brian and Holly, drop by, show them some love, give them a thumbs up and subscribe, and tell them Grampie sent you. And thanks for watching Sticker Time. So I keep my used oil in the bike shed. So there's my used oil. It's a combination of motor oil, you know, hydraulic oil, any waste oils that I have. I save them, burn them like this. Of course, you know, take a long time to burn that much oil, putting 2 or 3 ounces at a time in this little cup. So every now and then I'll take them to the recyclers, but you know, being out here where I am in the woods, it's an hour's trip to town, so I don't go to the recyclers very often, so I just hold it in these jugs, and if I can use it, just like that's about all it takes, just like that in the cup. So why not use that, right? I don't think that's hurting the atmosphere too much, is it? Or the ozone or the environment? I hope not. Anyways, let's go to the fire. We'll set that in the fire pit, see if we can light it. Okay, we're going to set that right down in there. Now that oil, you know, one thing I don't put in that oil is gas. I keep my gas separate, my dirty gas. But anyhow, we're going to set that right there. Even in the snow, we can get the fire going and it won't be a problem, I don't think. So here's a bunch of those little splits I was talking about, just little pieces of scrap. So I set those in the oil so that they can get a little bit of oil on them, and then just a couple across the top, just enough, you know, to entice it to burn. Then I have the great equalizer, propane torch. And then we just hold that in here until it lights the oil. And on a cold day like today, it's minus 12 today, by the way. It might take a while to get the oil to ignite. And it's windy. So you see there now the paper towel is burning, but the part that's soaked in oil will take a while before it burns. And by the time it burns, these splits will have lit up and we'll have a nice fire going. Alright, I'm going to go get some more of those little splits because we're going to need them in a minute. So we've got a bucket of splits here. I can smell the oil burning now. So using that little cardboard box trick, you know, it takes a little bit of time to make the boxes, I suppose, but you get to use up the cardboard boxes, you get to use up the old shop towels, you get to use up a little bit of the waste oil, you get to burn your scraps. Although I don't like to burn scraps. So I've got a few little odds and sods to go on to do in the shop. So I'm going to get at those, but every now and then I'll come out here, check the fire, and see if we can burn up some of this scrap wood from the shop. So it's starting to go pretty good now, so I'm going to put some more wood on it and hit in the shop, do a few little things. I'll come back out with some bigger pieces of wood later on. We're going to have her roaring. We got her burning good now, folks. But you know what? It's getting late in the evening. We're gonna let this burn down. It's time to go in for supper. Battery's almost dead in the camera. You know, it's time to go. So thanks for watching. Sure hope you had a great day wherever you are. Enjoyed the beautiful outdoors and the beautiful sun. And maybe even had yourself a fire. Take care, folks. Don't forget, thumbs up me. We'll talk to you.